Hi, today I'm sharing my favorite pumpkin soup with you guys. It's the perfect meal for those cozy autumn days. So let's get started. So for the soup we'll need one whole pumpkin. I use the Hokkaido pumpkin. For the consistency of the soup, to make it really creamy, we'll add some potatoes. You can either use one big potato, two medium potatoes, or I just used 3 small potatoes. Also we'll need some oil, some pepper, some salt, and I also like to use some paprika powder as well as some chili powder. Also, I forgot to mention that I'm going to add some ginger, and for the creaminess of the soup I'll add some coconut. You can either use coconut oil, coconut milk, or whatever plant-based milk you have at home. And we're also gonna add some onions for flavor, and of course garlic, as much garlic as you want. There's no judgment here. I had an appointment later that day, so I only used 1 big clove of garlic. If you want to make the soup even more special and fancy, you can top it with some oven-baked chickpeas, so I'll also add 1 cup of chickpeas to the ingredients. And let's go! Okay, first of all, we will cut the pumpkin in half. Make sure you're using a real sharp knife, but don't cut your fingers, please. You can peel the pumpkin, but it's not necessary. But if you don't peel the pumpkin, make sure you wash it before. And when you finally cut the pumpkin in half, now you're gonna hollow it out, so empty out the seeds of the pumpkin, and also with the other half, so it looks like that. Now we're gonna cut off the ends and cut the pumpkin into small pieces. Really take care that you don't cut your hands, it's a bit tricky. Okay, now put the pumpkin aside and we're gonna cut some ginger. I peeled it first. I'm not sure if it's necessary to peel the ginger, but I like it like that. As a reference, I used a piece of ginger that was almost the size of my thumb and some little pieces. I'm absolutely not childish. Now cut the ginger in tiny pieces, as well as the onions and the garlic. And almost forgot the potatoes. So first peel them and then cut them into tiny cubes, just like the size of the pumpkin cubes. And there I wanted to do a transition, which I forgot at the next shot. In a bowl, we'll prepare the oven-baked chickpeas. So first wash the chickpeas and cook them if necessary. I already bought the cooked ones. Add some olive oil, salt, paprika powder, curry, chili powder, or whatever you like. To the chickpeas you can add whatever seasoning you like. Just try if it's good or if you have to add something. I liked it like that. And then put it on a baking pan. Then turn on the oven with upper and lower heat on 180 degrees Celsius or 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Bye! See you later! We're going to leave them in there for 10 to 15 minutes, so you can also turn it on later so that they're still hot when you add them on the soup. Now turn on the stove and in a pan add some oil, add the onions, let them fry for about 2 minutes. Now lower the heat a bit and add the ginger, and mix. Then I added some salt, pepper, paprika powder, chili powder. It's like the same that I added to the chickpeas because I really like this flavor. To prevent the garlic from burning, I always add it at the end. And let that fry for about 5 minutes until it looks like this. Now add the potatoes and the pumpkin and turn down the heat to lower to middle heat and just mix everything together and fry it for about 5 to 10 minutes. Now frying the potatoes and the pumpkin is the secret tip of this soup. So if you want to make the soup really, really delicious, you cannot miss this step. It's really essential. The frying gives the whole soup like a roasty special flavor. I don't know how to describe it, but you'll taste the difference. Meanwhile, you can already boil some water in the water boiler. Wow, so it will get quicker. Smells good already. I love this soup. Have I mentioned that before? Now you can bring the heat up a little, and then we'll add the boiling water and the vegetable mix into the pot. It may be better to put the vegetables first and then the water, otherwise it splashes all around. And then I just added the rest of the water so it covers the vegetables. And now we'll cook the whole thing for 10 minutes. And you can also put the chickpeas in the oven now. Now turn off the stove, grab a blender and blend the whole thing until it's really smooth. And after blending it, just check the consistency if you want to add more water. I actually needed some more water, so I added that and blended again until I like the consistency. So this step is optional, but I really love having this creamy consistency, so I added some coconut. But of course you can just add any plant-based cream that you have at home, or you can just skip this step. After 10 minutes you can have a look at your chickpeas, and when they are already crispy enough you can take them out of the oven. I wanted to have them a bit more crispy, so I left them in the oven for 5 more minutes until they looked like this. This is really the crispiness you want to achieve. Look at this. Now take a plate and serve the soup. For decoration purposes, I added some of the chickpeas. Then I also added some pumpkin seeds. And of course some parsley. Look at that. A vegan, pumpkin, creamy, comfy soul food. I can just recommend you to do this recipe and tell me if you like it as much as I do. It's like heaven. The orange heaven. Okay, have a nice autumn and see you next time. Bye!